We tend to ignore and tuck away all of the things that happen to us when we are in relationships with narcissists. It's the brain's way of protecting itself from pain and trauma. Most of all, I believe anyway, is the fear that we feel inside that's so intense that must be kept under wraps. It's like dealing with a huge monster. So we put it away in the closet along with all the other experiences that were too painful. However, as much as we place these things deep in the closet, it is all these past events that make up for the huge traumas. And when we only see chunks at a time, such as the one time that daddy didn't show up to your baseball game, it seems somewhat acceptable, as it was only this one-time event, right? We might rationalize it with beliefs that this made me stronger, or this taught me to be a better parent. It may have made you a better person, but strong? No, not in the way you think anyway. Tougher, closed off, and untrusting is a better description here. And today's video is about those so-called little things and how they become the big things. I'll also be ending the video with a way that you can begin to clean out cluttered closets one layer at a time. So for anyone who doesn't know me, my name is Deanna King, and this channel is All Talk Narcissism and Codependency. So like I said, the little things are what makes the huge traumas when we accept one experience after another with the narcissist in our lives. One of my videos, I talked about what others don't get when one lives with a narcissist. But today, I'd like to talk about what we ourselves don't see. I mean, we're seeing, but we're really not. In the video, I had talked about how others don't get what the victim is going through because they're just aware of what seems like minute, petty things. I mean, think about it. You have coffee with a friend and tell them the latest on what you're going through. And it can sound something like, for example, you saying that he or she hasn't spoken to you in 3 days. Well, that can happen in any relationship from time to time. The difference in this, though, is that in a healthy enough relationship, if something like that occurs, it's usually over a huge issue, and it isn't happening every week. The other part also is that the partner is more than likely not looking at them in complete contempt every time that they're in each other's space. In their experience, they are concerned about the issue and perhaps looking for ways to resolve said issue. But your experience is of trauma. The contemptuous looks are designed to make you feel hated. The stonewall is made to make you feel rejected and not enough. The fight that began had nothing to do with an issue between the two of you, but all to do with you were being attacked. And these are the things that you need to get. These are the so-called little things that you push away or brush away once things normalize, that are actually what is creating the huge traumas. Anyway, back to what I was saying. The person that you're having a discussion with over coffee regarding being stonewalled doesn't hear any of that. They just hear that you guys are going through a normal occurrence that can happen in couples, and you're just being whiny, kind of a downer. The person that you're having a discussion with over coffee regarding being stonewalled doesn't hear any of that. They just hear that you guys are going through a normal occurrence that can happen in couples, and you're just being whiny, kind of a downer. They have no idea of the pain you're in, of what actually is happening at home. They just see the little statements. And maybe you'll be more descriptive and tell your friend that your partner got angry with you for not responding to a question they asked because, well, you didn't hear them. Again, does that sound like a big deal? So you might come off appearing as though you were the one being a bit hostile in not responding, or even if they've been made aware that you just didn't hear them. That too can happen in a relationship where one person is just having an off day and feel frustrated for some reason or other. What they don't get is that this was an opportunity that the abuser was looking for so that they could gain some form of narcissistic supply and drain you. And that's what you need to get also. You are the target, not a person, but a target. They have intentionally hunted you down. And then How in the world do you explain the experience of being put through word salad with ongoing circular conversations when your brain got so scrambled in the event that you yourself can't even put into words how it all went down? I mean, you might recall them saying things like, I never said that, or I never did that, or that didn't happen. But can you actually recall the whole conversation? You can't. You've been put through all this cognitive dissonance. There was way too much to process with no time allotted to do so. And if you can't even explain it to yourself, then how can you even make sense of it? When we talk about post-traumatic stress disorder, it's often due to a one-time event, such as a car accident or witnessing a murder. It can be anything that has this high emotional impact on the brain, a shock. The brain goes through some sort of a shock here, and the person can't process what has taken place. Again, see, there's no time to process while it's happening. When it comes to CPTSD, it is the small traumas that we often consider insignificant, and so we often shrug them off with, I'm the bigger person, or they've had a rough childhood. Small traumas can be anything from a breakup to a job loss, but in the case of narcissistic abuse, the small traumas I'm referring to is emotional and mental abuse, which is not small at all. When a person is told that they are stupid growing up, or shown in some form or another that they are unloved and unacceptable, that hurts, and it hurts deep. The pain that the child feels inside is devastating. You remember times where you watched others being praised and you got nothing. You remember how it felt being told that you'd never amount to anything. The thing is, though, is that it isn't merely a memory. It's still there because you still feel it. If it were healed, it would be merely a memory, but you still feel it when you think about it. And most of the time you don't feel it, not because it's healed, but because you've tucked it away, you buried it in the form of overdoing or addictions, including what seems like innocent things such as shopping or rationalizing. The thing is, though, it isn't hiding very well, because in your world, it's created havoc over your life. It's created low self-esteem, doubt, and anger. It's created unfulfilling relationships, maybe even careers, or unmanifested dreams. The coping mechanisms you use to keep you safe haven't worked for you. They've kept you breathing, they've kept you in survival mode, but definitely not thriving. I mean, aren't you important enough? And you aren't thriving because you have never processed anything enough to get clarity anyway. And I talked a little while ago about how we can't make sense of the experience that we just had in a word salad dialogue. If we can't even explain it to ourselves, then how can we make sense of it? That's where giving yourself the space matters, because in your mind, if logically you can't explain what really they're doing, how can you believe concretely that you literally should leave the relationship? Your brain's been fried. When every day you're going through high levels of cortisol, along with other chemicals running through your body, you can't think. You can't come to conclusions about anything. You can't move forward. Everything is about them. And these so-called little things, like the time they were angry for you for forgetting to top up the gas in your vehicle, the one time in the year they ignored your birthday, the one day they called you horrible names, the time they talked badly about you to your family, these little things, those are the big things. They are traumas, because every time that they attack you in saying hurtful things or yelling or stonewalling with contempt, you are taken back to your past traumas that you've been trying to repress, and so you become re-traumatized. Now, like the way that you never process the experiences in the relationship, it's the same thing for the childhood traumas. They too were never processed. When you give yourself the space or alone time to process, what happens is you begin to remove layers. And I don't just mean layers of pain here, but the layers also that get you closer to you, to the self, to the real you, your talents, your gifts, the connection that one needs to feel safe. You get deeper understandings of what's going on around you. You get deeper understanding about others. You get clarity on who you are, which is actually a powerhouse. And you get clarity on who they are. And you get to understand that in this real world, you are deeply loved, that you are loved. And we talk about being in the moment as though that was some deep philosophical saying, and that sounds poetic, but it's so much more than that. Giving yourself the space entails this, and it's a habit that you can learn for those willing. When you can take the time to place your attention on your chest area, the heart center, and think about the word calm and the word peace, and after some slow breaths, take that space to think about what you're grateful for until the heart space is filled with love. You equip yourself with the stillness that allots for answers and for clarity. Gratitude and stillness gives you the space that you need. Walking around your house or outdoors in nature and looking to everything that you appreciate. I talk about that often, but because I believe in it. Looking for beauty. And those are all ways that we can give ourselves the space. Breathing, coherent breathing. Actually, as we come to an end of this video, in my editing, I'm going to add on a coherent breathing session if anybody wants to try it out. It's worth it. The breath will still the mind. It's in the silence that we get these answers or understandings. I mean, the universe is always ready to talk, but we have to listen. So give yourself the space. Giving yourself the space also entails journaling. I talk about that often in my videos. Journaling can take you to much needed tears or repressed anger that needs to come out. Anger is an energy of its own. It's an entity within you. It needs to go. And these are all ways that layers get removed and clarity comes. Sometimes, actually most of the time, when I'm in a quiet, serene space, I get these clear understandings of what is or what needs to be. Oprah calls them her aha moments. I call them downloads. And every time I get them, I get more wisdom into my being. And when that occurs, more layers of fear begin to dissipate. I'm telling you, give yourself the space. Take some moments that you usually spend in anger or trying to appease the narcissist. Take that energy that you're using towards them and bring it back to you. Sometimes giving yourself the space will help you connect with your pain. Other times giving yourself the space will get you a different perspective of something which can in turn cause you to make better decisions. Giving yourself the space can bring down your stress levels and can make you feel love and appreciation for life rather than depression. So for those of you not seeing a way out, whether financially or emotionally, this you can do right now, and it's free. Be here now. So here is the MP3, and have a listen and peace out.
We're going to be doing a very short but very effective meditation. This meditation is a technique from the HeartMath Institute that when done for merely 3 minutes, its effects continue for 6 hours. And this technique brings your heart and your brain into coherence. In other words, complete balance, which brings you to a gamma state. And what happens when you're in that state is your intuition increases. Your immune system gets boosted. You have increased focus. Your memory is sharpened. And anti-aging effects occur because the heart signals to the brain which proper chemicals to send out to the body. So here we go. Nice, slow breath in through the nose. And exhaling out through the mouth. Relax. breathing and relax. Relax. And now I want you to shift your awareness from your mind into your heart. I want you to become aware of your heart center. That's the area where you have your breastbone. And I want you to gently touch your heart center. And it can be a light touch of your fingertips. It can be the palm of your hand. Or it can be your hands in a prayer position with your fingers towards the sky and the back of your thumbs gently touching, whatever feels comfortable for you. But keep that awareness on your heart center. And as you breathe, I want you to feel that breath as though it were coming in from your center and out through that center, as though you were breathing from your heart. Next, we slow down the breath to 5 or 6 seconds in and 5 or 6 seconds out. In through the nose, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you just keep breathing like that, inhaling in and exhaling out. And inhaling 3, 4, 5, and exhaling 2, 3, 4, 5, and relax and feel that heart center. And I want you to take note that as you breathe, when a person naturally breathes like that, that's when that person is feeling safe. And when you begin to feel safe within, you draw more of that safetiness onto you in your outer world. And just feel what it feels like to feel safe. You are safe. Breathing from the heart, I am safe. Feel that feeling of safetiness in your heart. Excellent. And now let's increase that feeling of safety. From safety to appreciation. I want you to feel the feeling in your heart of appreciation. I want you to feel your heart swell up with the feeling of who and what you appreciate in your life. And expand the feeling of appreciation as much as you can. Excellent. And now I want you to expand from appreciation to gratitude. I want you to start feeling in your heart center. I want you to feel gratitude. And breathe it in. Who is it that you're grateful for? things that you're grateful for. Just feel that gratitude and let your heart expand. Let it pulse. Feel the expansion grow bigger and bigger. You can even say thank you in your heart. And now, calm breathing. I want you to take that feeling of gratitude and gently move it to compassion and to care. And just open your heart and feel what compassion for self feels like. We often know what it is to feel what compassion feels like for others, but we don't feel it for self often. So right now I want you to take that moment now to feel compassion in your heart and care for self. You're here doing the work, aren't you? You deserve it too. You deserve to be heard. You deserve to be seen, right? You deserve to take care of self because you are enough and you matter. And you deserve to be loved. So take this moment to love self and have compassion for all the things that you do. And now, gently move back to a feeling of gratitude again, a nice, calm gratitude. Grateful for this moment, for this short meditation. As you prepare to come out of this meditation, I want you to take a moment to feel gratitude. Gratitude for the here and now. Gratitude for the feeling of feeling safe, feeling compassion, feeling love. Breathing it all in. And when you're ready, just take a nice deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Eyes wide open, feeling calm, feeling good, feeling relaxed, ready to start your day.